How to use appointment scheduling in Google Calendar. Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how you can get started with appointment scheduling in Google Calendar. Now we all know Google Calendar as a simple tool which can help us in managing and monitoring our events. However, Google Calendar is also a great tool to use if you're looking to set up your own appointment scheduling tool without any third parties. So to get started, simply log on to your Google account and then click on the top right. Once you do that, you're going to see your calendar application, so click on this. And once you do that, you will see your general calendar. Now, Google has different calendars that you can create, so different calendars can have different appointment schedules as well. But you guys can see if I click on other calendars, currently I don't have any. I can click on create new calendar to build a new calendar for my appointment scheduling. But because my appointment scheduling is integrated within my day, I'm not going to build a separate calendar. Instead, I'm just going to use my regular calendar and build my appointment scheduling within that. So if I mark a different event within the appointment times, I can block off those appointment times as times where I will not be available. However, if your appointment scheduling is something that is permanent, i.e. you have other employees that are going to deal with it in case you are not available, then you might want to set this up as a separate calendar. Then you're going to click on Create on the top left. Once you do that, a drop-down menu will appear and you're going to click on Appointment Schedule. Once you do that, you're going to choose the title of your appointment schedule booking. So what type of appointment are people booking with us? So this is going to be a consultation. Using the term consultation can be a really nice way to easily just make it a broad statement rather than making it super specific and then being limited to that. So once we do that, we can also choose the duration, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, or even a custom duration. So we're going to go with 1 hour over here. And then we have the general availability. So this is going to repeat weekly, and let's say we are available Monday through Friday, but our timings are 8 to 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the timings to 8 and then to 4 p.m. Then instead of having to do this manually, you can just duplicate this to all of the sections. Now, you might want to add a lunch break or a break in between, and you can automate that process. You don't have to do that manually. Instead, all you have to do is click on over here to add another period to that day. Change your first timings to the break time. So let's say we work from 8 to 1, and then from 1 to 2 we take a break, and then we resume work at 1 or 2:30. Let's say we have a 1.5 hour break. And then from 2:30 to, let's say our working time is going to be 4:30 or 4 p.m. Once I do that, instead of having to manually add this over and over again, I am going to again click on the duplicate tool, and this will duplicate my timings throughout the week. Now, if any day has different timings, you can go on ahead and choose to add those different timings instead. Now from here, we're going to proceed on to the area. So you're going to select your area, your time zone, and then you have your scheduling window. Now, what is the scheduling window? Well, this depends on how forehand of the booking do you want to be booked. Let's say I don't want to take any appointments that are too far ahead in the future because I don't know if I will be doing the same thing. Or I also don't want to take appointments 1 minute before, so I don't do last minute appointments. This really depends on the industry you're in and the type of services or products that you're providing. So we're going to go into a scheduling window, and you can also limit the date range for all appointments. This allows you to create bookings, especially if you're someone that knows that they're going to have a very packed calendar. Then using this can be a really great tool to simplify your bookings and just have yourself be booked within a certain time period. And then after that, you're not going to take any bookings. However, I like to set this up as available now, and I don't like to take bookings that are too advanced. So 60 days in advance, which means around 2 months in advance, I can be booked. And then 4 hours before. Now, I don't like super urgent bookings, so I need at least 24 hours earlier. So the booking needs to be 24 hours earlier. Then you can change a date's availability. So if you have specific dates when you already know that you're going to be available, let's say a weekend that you're going to be working, you can select that. And currently it's marked as unavailable. So we can add a time to that as well. Let's say for this particular weekend, we are going to be available. Or if you are unavailable, let's say on the 26th of March, I'm not going to be available. So I can select that and I can block off these times as unavailable. And you guys will see that the appointment booking option is going to be removed. Now, once you do that, you have your appointment booking settings. This includes buffer time, which means any appointments that are going to end or start, there needs to be a certain time where you might need a break. You might just need a breather in between appointments, and you can schedule that in as buffer time. So I do like to add a buffer time, and my buffer time is going to be 10 minutes between appointments, because sometimes an appointment can run late, sometimes it can run early. Then after that, you also have a maximum number of bookings you want to set. So a lot of people do not want to be overworked. And if you are someone that wants to limit the number of consultations or services, whatever you're doing, to be limited to a certain extent, you don't want to take on too much work, then you can limit the maximum number of bookings. So by default, you are going to be limited to the number of hours you're working, but you can also limit, let's say I'm only going to be taking 3 consultations, and those 3 consultations can fall in between any of my working hours. But other than that, I don't take any consultations. Then we have guest permissions if they can invite others. I am not going to allow guest permissions. And then we have our calendar. So check for calendar availability, and I have connected this to my primary calendar. If you want, you can use a different calendar and connect it to your primary calendar. However, that is more so a feature of premium, of the Google Workspace Premium. We're going to click on next over here. And once we do that, we are going to choose our booking photo and name. So this is how it will be displayed. So we can manage our Google account photo and name. Then we have our Google Meet video conferencing link or our in-person meeting. Then we can add our location. So whatever location it is, we can add that. Then we have a description, which explains the service or consultation that we are providing. You can just add whatever the customer or whoever has booked you should be expecting within this consultation. Then you have your booking form. So the booking form by default has first name, last names, as well as email addresses. You can click on add an item if there is anything else you require. Let's say I require their phone number. Then I can also add my own custom items. Let's say I require them to provide maybe their phone number or address or whatever else it might be. Then we have payments and cancellation policies. So if you're someone that wants to add a payment system integrated within Google, you can upgrade to the Google Workspace plan to be able to integrate that. And then we have booking confirmations and reminders. Then we're just going to click on save, and just like that, our appointment scheduling tool has been created. Now you can click on open booking page, and this is what my booking page looks like. You guys can see I marked off Wednesday as a day I wouldn't be working, so it's marked off. And then we have the rest of the week just like so, and it's only going to show up 2 months in advance, and after that it's not going to show any availabilities. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did find this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or queries, you guys can leave those in the comment box down below. I would love to know what you guys have to say.